you want to get inside my brain when it comes to marketing, literally try every product we offer here, because that's why I built it. Like, I built the stuff I believe in. We didn't just build stuff for the heck of it. We didn't just build stuff because other people said it might work or because we heard buzz about it. We literally created the exact things that I would use if I was out there selling real estate day to day.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode number 2 of Behind the Scenes with LPT Realty, where we take you behind the scenes with our founder and CEO, Mr. Robert Palmer, as he delivers massive amounts of value every single week. And we're going to bring you in on all the things that are going out there in the real estate market, the mortgage industry, micro and macroeconomics, so that you've got the best talking points to have intelligent conversations with your customers so they know you're the expert in the field. We've got a lot of exciting things we want to talk about today. Robert's going to talk about really big picture marketing concepts here at LPT Realty that a lot of people don't understand, kind of why we do some of the things that we do. He's going to break that down. We're going to talk about prepping for 2024, starting in Q4 of this year. We're going to hit on a little bit about what we did at the Texas Association of Realtors event recently. We're also going to talk a little bit about state expansion, which I know everyone is excited about. And then we're going to wrap it up with a new product that Zillow rolled out called the Zillow Showcase. So really excited to take you guys through this. My name is Mark Ammons.
I'm AJ Ackerman.
And we are Elevated Agents.
Awesome. Super excited to be here. I love these Motivational Mondays. I have a question for all you real estate agents out there. What level of marketing are you providing to your sellers? You know, one of the beautiful things about LPT Realty is we are about marketing, about agent choice, and it's time for Robert Palmer to elevate your thinking about marketing and show you why LPT is growing so fast. So we're going to go ahead and let the man speak himself. You ready?
Let's kick it to Robert.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I think what's really interesting is, I built big brands in businesses where it's maybe not as necessary. Traditionally, mortgage companies don't have a big brand, and I brought that. Where real estate, one of the things I love about this industry is it is all about marketing. And, for those of you that follow me on Facebook, I posted this weekend that marketing is greater than brand. And having amazing marketing is more important than the brokerage brand that you are with. And obviously we all believe that because we're here together at LPT. Right. But we've got examples now of our agents going up against a Sotheby's agent or a Christie's agent, a traditional luxury brand, but our agent has amazing luxury marketing via the new luxury collections packages, and they're winning. And so again, this whole thesis that marketing is more important than the brand when it comes to earning customer trust, but then you still need the brand and you still need a different type of marketing to get the opportunities. And so what I really love about real estate is that the marketing now plays into two sides. Marketing plays into acquiring your customer, but then marketing also plays into how you serve that customer. Because when someone's hiring you to list their home, a big part of what they want from you is marketing. Like, they're basically hiring you to market their home. Obviously, there's going to be negotiations and other pieces, but they are hiring you to market that listing for them. You're a listing marketer is really what you're doing as a listing agent. And so the idea that all of my past experience around marketing and advertising now gets to play not only a role in bringing in clients, but then serving those clients better is one of the things that really has made this amazing for me. And it's a big part of the vision at LPT. And because we are agent choice, you decide what level of marketing you want to undertake on your listing. We have these multiple packages through Luxury Collection where you decide, hey, do I want package 1 or package 2? Do I want the billboards? What do I want to include here so I can serve my client? And other people say, you know what, I'm not going to buy any marketing package. I'm just going to kind of be the base brokerage fees and my free power pack. And that's 100% your choice. Where if you look at a lot of brokerages, the Compasses or the Sotheby's, they're going to force a different split on you and then offer to provide some type of marketing on every listing, usually not as good as our stuff. Right. But they're going to force it on you, where in the LPT ecosystem, it is agent choice. You decide what level of marketing you want to invest from our packages into that listing. And so we're expanding that. We started this idea of the packages with the luxury collection. We played it in with the August listing blitz, giving you guys a taste of a package by making it free. And now we're looking at, hey, how do we build out more luxury collection packages? I think we're probably going to end up with 4. We have 2 right now. I think we're going to go to 4 so that we give agents a little more choice, a couple more on the higher end. Where if you really want to press it up for that big listing, that you can get into things like a single property magazine. You can get into mailings of those luxury listings to other luxury real estate agents around the state. These are some of the cool things we're working on to push up luxury collections even further. And again, we as the brokerage are financing that cost and that exposure to where you pay at closing. There's a small deposit up front, but the bulk of the payment is at closing. And I really feel like this is going to be revolutionary to empower our agents to go, compete and win. And now the big project we're working on is how do we bring a similar product to all of our other listings, so that you have the luxury collection where you can add on these listing marketing packages that are, again, small deposit up front, paid for at closing. How do we do something similar on every listing that's even not part of the luxury collection? So that's something we're working on right now, because I am a firm believer, if you want to win these listings, you have to have the best marketing. And not all agents can afford that marketing up front. And then not everybody has the capabilities to go out and get this marketing. And that is the one role where we as a brokerage can play a massive place in helping you be more successful. This is an industry where you decide your level of success, you decide your work ethic, you build your own business, but that doesn't mean we as a brokerage then get an excuse to not try to help you at all. And so while a brokerage is not going to make or break your business, there are definitely places where we can bring our economies of scale and our capabilities to help you be more successful and to help you win. And that's where I see this marketing package, which we started with the luxury collection, being a huge part of that commitment from us to you. And so again, we started in the luxury space. Now the idea is to trickle it down to where it can eventually apply to all listings, and we're working very hard on that behind the scenes. But it all comes back to this core idea of marketing and branding. And so when we look at the types of things we're doing, like we're putting these luxury listings on a billboard. Right now, is putting that luxury listing on a billboard, is that going to be the reason the house sells? Maybe, but most likely not. At the end of the day, homes have been selling for hundreds of years without agents putting them on billboards. But if putting that home on the billboard does bring one extra interested buyer, and if you're using our multi-market billboard campaign, even one buyer from out of market who maybe wasn't thinking about buying in Orlando, but they saw it on a billboard in Miami or vice versa, or they weren't thinking about buying in Dallas, but they see that property on a billboard in Tampa or Orlando, if we can bring an interested buyer, even one buyer can make such a difference in the negotiation, because now you go from a seller who didn't get an offer and is maybe thinking about lowering their price to maybe you end up in a multiple offer situation. So 100% there is a benefit to putting a luxury listing on a billboard for the consumer. And there's also a big benefit for you as the agent, because it establishes your credibility to a higher level. What agent can put your home on a billboard? A successful agent, an agent who's part of a successful company, an agent who has a well-defined, well-designed marketing plan. These are all things that luxury, or really any listing potential seller, wants to know that you have. And so having the home on the billboards, having the single property printed magazines that we're going to make a part of the Next Level Up, all of this stuff we designed, the direct mail, the printed collateral, the digital marketing, everything we've built is about positioning you and positioning the listing. Now, is this the best way to get cheap leads, right? No. We all know we can run a Google pay-per-click campaign and, get leads for 10, 12, 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is. And that's great, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring exposure to the property. We're trying to bring influence and notoriety to you and the property, right? Because you got to think, too, as a potential buyer, if, let's say, I looked at a house and then I'm driving home and I see that house on a billboard. Well, now I'm thinking, man, that house is so special. They put it on a billboard. Again, it changes the way I think about the property. I now hold the property in higher regard, because I think that real estate agent thought that was such a special house. They took the time to put it on a billboard. I want to own a special house. I'm going to go make an offer. These are the psychological ways that all of this stuff, works together. And then same thing with the high quality printed material. I tell this story a lot. If you go in my house, there's maybe a dozen photos of the family that are actually printed. Right? I probably have 20,000 photos on my cell phone. Mm-hmm. The most important ones, we print it out. We put them on paper. We put them in a frame. We put them on a wall, right? So we are predispositioned to believe that the most important things in life do get printed out, right? Think about it with certain types of contracts or things. I know there's things I'll just e-sign online. Other things I still print it out, and I want to read a hard copy if it's a really important decision. If I'm signing a $20 million line of credit, I'm not just e-signing it. I'm printing it out, I'm getting a pen, and I'm reading through it. The most important things in life, we still bring into the physical world. And so when you bring a property into the physical world, you are showing potential buyers that is a special property. And then you're showing other potential sellers that, hey, when you list your home with me, I make your property a special property because I bring it into the physical world with print. I bring it into the mass world of outdoor advertising with billboards. And then, yeah, I'm also going to run some additional digital marketing. But the real win there is when we take that digital marketing report and we print it out and we give it to the seller at the end. And so now we've made the results of the digital campaign more important, more tangible, more tactile by printing out that report. And when you drop that off to the seller to say, hey, just so you know, here's the, a good reason to re-meet with that seller. You listed their home maybe a month ago, 6 weeks ago. You've run the digital marketing plan. At the end of the 4 weeks, we mail you this wonderful 2-page color report. Print that out. Take it to the seller and be like, hey, check this out. Like, boom, this is what we did for you. And these are the ways that you stand out. You inspire those referrals. You get that seller to now tell their neighbor who all of a sudden is thinking about selling because they saw their neighbor just sold. Hey, man, what are you getting for your house? Wow, that's a lot of money. How was the experience? Oh, my agent was fantastic. Let me show you this digital thing they did. Let me show you a picture of the billboard they ran for my house. Like, if this is the way the referral is happening, you are getting that next listing from the neighbor across the house, undoubtedly. And so, one of the things I had to realize in marketing is a lot of the things that you don't see the immediate response on, that you don't have this easy, quantifiable, trackable result, are actually some of the best ways to market and build your credibility and build your business and build your reputation and build those future closings and relationships. Again, like most mortgage companies would focus on, I want the $20 pay-per-click leads, right? Or, hey, Robert, why are you spending all this money on TV and radio and your average cost per lead is $1,000? You can get bank rate leads for $200, or you can get Google pay-per-click leads for $8, $10. One, it's not building my brand. It's not building my credibility. It's building theirs. It's building their brand. And what I realized early on was, if I wanted to build a big business, if I wanted to really take things to the next level and be able to leverage and scale, I had to build a different level of credibility, a different level of influence, and I had to do the things that other people were not doing. And so, yeah, someone may look at it and say, oh, Robert, why are you wasting money putting these listings on billboards? You should just put that money into pay-per-click and you could get 21 leads, on average. Okay, well, what are those leads really going to do for me? That's great, but I would rather have one past client drive by and be like, oh, that's the dude that sold my house, and now he's on a billboard next to this $3 million listing. I need to call him again because it's time to sell. Because that person calling me will become a transaction where those 20 leads may or may not. I mean, there are 100% digital marketing types of leads that convert at less than 1%. So I need 100 of those maybe to get a transaction, or one past client to drive by that billboard and be reminded of me and to move my influence up and my credibility up, and to say, yep, time to list, and I'm going to call him because he did a great job helping me buy the house. I'd maybe forgotten about him, and now I see his face on a billboard next to a $3 million listing. I'm going to call him right now because I do need to sell. So it's a different way of thinking about it, and that's really what I want to try to elevate everybody's thinking to. You can get so hung up in the idea of, and again, I was guilty of this once upon a time. I'd be like, man, why did I just spend $10,000 on that Sunday Night Football commercial? I literally could have gotten X number of leads over here for that. Right? But then I never would have built the business I built. When we did our big sponsorship, with the Orlando Magic, and it was a 5-year, $10 million deal, there were definitely years in there when I'm like, man, that $2 million I spent this year with the Magic, that could have gotten me like 400,000 pay-per-click leads, or whatever the number was. And but ultimately to realize that branding and marketing and influence, while there was no direct one-to-one correlation, I may not have felt it working in the moment, I am the living proof that over time it absolutely does work by putting you in that position to win. And that is how we're thinking about all of the tools and packages and programs that we are building here at LPT to help you be a better marketer, have more credibility and more influence in your community so that you can build tighter relationships with that sphere, tighter relationships with your past clients, and then ultimately relationships with the friends of your past clients, the friends of your sphere, because the idea is to move things out one level.
Wow. Well, if you're still with us, then you just got some super powerful information about why marketing is so important to Robert Palmer and why we do a lot of things that we do. But one thing I just want to point out is that we help agents win. He was very clear about the idea of giving you choices on utilizing as many of the services possible. Mark, I know you wanted to mention a few things because marketing is something I think a lot of real estate agents take for granted. They don't realize the power of marketing. When I was building my business, I was putting out newsletters. I was doing the posts. postcards. I knew that as I built my business, I would add marketing as I grow. But the problem is that I had to wait until I closed deals in order to afford to grow the marketing. And with a beautiful company like Listing Power Tools, we get a lot of those advantages up front so that we can build and we can just add as we go. So I know you had some thoughts too.
Yeah, I just think it's really cool the way that Robert broke down the reasoning behind why we do a lot of the things that we do here at LPT and why it's different than what you're seeing at a lot of real estate brokerages. And when I first saw the LPT model, AJ is the one who showed it to me, and he was talking about like the billboards and stuff. And I remember telling him, I'm like, no one buys a house off of a billboard. And that's, I think, what a lot of people are saying and thinking. And Robert really addressed that like, is that going to sell the house? Probably not. But what it does is it increases your legitimacy. It helps your brand. It's a level of marketing that, frankly, very few outside of any LPT agent in your market is going to be able to offer. So it comes down to, and I liked where he kind of started this, and we've talked about this in the past, that the best real estate agent is usually not the one who wins. The best marketer is the one who wins, because at the end of the day, that's what someone's hiring you to do when they're hiring you to sell their house, is they're hiring you to market their house. So they want the best marketer for their house. And the fact that we provide all of these tools, and with what we're doing, where corporate is kind of able to absorb some of that risk to allow you to go out and spend more money on some of these homes to market them and get them sold for the highest price in the shortest period of time, and then just pay for that at closing. That's not anything I've seen another brokerage do, where the typical model is force you to pay a high fee, force you to pay a high split, and then provide mediocre to maybe above average, marketing support. Where here, again, it's kind of choose your own adventure. How much do you ultimately want to spend to market this house based on the price point, based on your comfort level, and just giving the agent the choice to do that, and do it in a way that, frankly, no other agents in your market are going to be able to compete with. I think it's awesome.
I love it. There's 4 things that sell a house: product, place, promotion, and price. And 2 of the things that we have a lot of control over is, 1, promotion, right? That's our job, is to give great service. And there's 2 main things an agent should be doing. 1, it's relationship generation, lead generation. And the other part is giving your clients good service, marketing and promoting their house so it gets in front of as many people as possible. Plus, we want to keep these high commissions. We need to continue to add value. And the other thing is the price point, right? And so you can affect what somebody does decide to do when it comes to pricing. But what I really am excited about is that they're going to talk about Q4. We are almost in Q4,
yes.
And so what could you do right now to create the momentum that you need to crush next year? Because I'm here to tell you, 90% of the agents, that's just an average number, they're going to take the next 3 months off. And so you have an opportunity right now to get ahead of the competition if you're willing to go all in. And they're going to go ahead and talk about this in the next clip.
Yeah, let's kick it to Robert and have him kind of break down what you should be doing over the next few months to make sure that you win in 2024.
Let's go.
When you ask me what I think works, all you have to do is look at what we're building here at LPT Realty, right? Everything we built here is because it's something I really believe in and believe it works. The Power Pack, the Prospecting Pack, the new luxury collection packages, which again utilize billboards and direct mail and a little bit different type of digital. It's not pay-per-click lead gen, it's branding digital to try to get that property out there, and then a nice report to give to your seller. Like basically all of my favorite marketing is what we built into the tools here at LPT Realty. And so if you just take the time, again, if you want to get inside my brain when it comes to marketing, literally try every product we offer here, because that's why I built it. Like I built the stuff I believe in. We didn't just build stuff for the heck of it. We didn't just build stuff because other people said it might work or because we heard buzz about it. We literally created the exact things that I would use if I was out there selling real estate day to day. And a lot of those products went back to our forming friendship, 10 years ago, and things that I saw could work in your business. And so we built them, and then they ultimately became these products that are now very successful if you put them to use. And so, look, I obviously big fan of Print Collateral. We've talked about why. The staying power of it is a big part of it, right? And so this is the time of year when you can go visit and just pop by your past clients' houses without a lot of, well, what are you doing? You're like, hey, I'm swinging by with with a Thanksgiving pie or a honey baked ham. I'm swinging by with a poinsettia because we're getting into the holiday season. Like this is the time of year when transaction count will naturally come down. Like this is a seasonal business. There is no way to get around it. Transaction count overall will be down in Q4. Like we are through the busy season, and unfortunately high interest rates kind of damaged Q3 for us as an industry. Q2 was great. Interest rates were lower in Q2. We are seeing the result of higher rates in Q3. Home prices continue to go up, but transaction volume continues to to go down. And so, what will happen is this is when you get to plant the seeds for a lot of people. And then most of them will actually transact in January. Like, this is what happens. People don't like to go under contract as much. Again, there's no absolutes, right? Yes, you can sell a home on Christmas Eve, like it happens. But when you look at large data sets, statistically, people are less willing to go under contract the week before Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving. Good luck getting showings on Thanksgiving Day. Maybe someone will. But again, this is not like where most people are spending their time. And then same thing around the holidays and Christmas and December, right? So they're going to be slower time, but this is when you plant the seeds. This is when, we're going to see people coming down from up north. We're going to see them start to communicate and start to reach out, and you can have some interactions, but the real business usually comes in January. And there's this feeling of like, man, the first week of January, the floodgates open up. And again, statistically, this is real. A lot of people re-engage that first week of January. People are making New Year's resolutions. It's a fresh start. Hey, I'm going to buy a house in 2024. You're going to see them really pop that first couple weeks of January. But you have to be doing all the right things right now. So, let me tell you, a poinsettia getting dropped off alone is great. A poinsettia with an active marketing plan or 9 critical questions attached to it is going to be much better for your business, right? And where a card may get thrown away, that 9 critical questions will live on the coffee table or live in that important drawer in their kitchen if they're at all thinking about selling.
That's right.
All right. And then while you're out doing that, drop a couple door hangers on the neighbors who you don't know. So I would arm myself with a prospecting pack with my 9 critical questions on it. I would arm myself with a stack of 9 critical questions. I would then buy some pumpkin pies or some poinsettias or whatever I want to do. Nothing but cakes, whatever. Some fun little thing that you can go drop off to people, and then include the 9 critical questions with it. While I'm there, I'm going to go hit the neighbors around the area with a door hanger for the 9 critical questions. While I'm at the poinsettia place, I'm going to pin a flyer for the 9 critical questions out of the prospecting pack up on the cork board. Maybe I'm going to ask the flower shop owner if I can leave a stack of those right here next to the register. I mean, these are the ways we can be efficient with our time and utilize the marketing packages and tools that we have built for you here at LPT Realty. So, I think at the end of the day, we are going into that time when, again, some people will have a busy Q4. This is not unilateral, but as a market statistically, Q4 is going to be less contracts written. A lot of you are going to find yourself with extra time, and I really want to encourage you to put that time to use because you are planting the seeds and planting the foundation for how much of a pop you see those first 2 weeks in January. And I can tell you right now, a lot of business that you'll do throughout the entire year, if you go back and track it, comes back to people who reached out during that first 2 weeks in January. And again, I have the luxury of analyzing massive data sets across RP Funding, across LPT Realty, and seeing, where people reach out when they make contact to when they actually do business. And the seeds you plant in November and December leading into that first couple weeks of January is a critical component of the entire year you're going to have. You will have people closing homes in July, August, and September who reached out to you that first couple weeks of January. And so now is the time to put your game face on, double down on your marketing, double down on the local relationship part of this business. We sell a product that is hyper local and is very person to person, very personal, and your relationship is a big part of that sale. People will use you as their agent because they like you as much as whether or not they think you're the smartest, best, most talented.
That's right.
It's 100% a fact in this business. And so now is the time of year to really strengthen those relationships, get back in front of your sphere. It's a great time to reach out to everybody in your phone. Wish them happy holidays, see what they're doing. Are you traveling for Thanksgiving this year? What are you going to be doing? Are you having a Hanukkah party this year? Are you having a Christmas party this year? Like, what are you doing? It's a great time to connect with your sphere. It's a great time for you to host your own events, right? Renting a Santa Claus guy to come through and offering in some of your farm neighborhoods or past clients, come through and get pictures with Santa at my office, or hey, I'm going to rent out a little event center, or I'm going to use the community, like the community clubhouse inside of some of these bigger neighborhoods, and I'm going to have a Santa come through and kids can take pictures with him. There's all these amazing ideas that we can do to market this time of year that we need to take advantage of. And there's really 2 choices. Some people will say, hey, we're going to the slow season, I'm just going to kind of shut down and I'll see everybody in January. Or you could double down on your skills and you can double down on the marketing, and then now having the amazing print collateral that we have at LPT that sticks around longer. an email, a text. Come the first 2 weeks of January, those things have been forgotten.
Yep.
Where I promise you that 9 critical questions, those magazines, the way they're designed, the way they're bound, the way they're built, is to be sticky and to not get thrown away and to stick, so that when those first couple weeks of January come around, they've been looking at your face on that coffee table or on that kitchen counter or wherever they put this thing for 2 months when the need to reach out hits. And I'll leave with one kind of last example here. One of the stories I used to tell a lot is, when you would direct mail, and you talked about this when you first started direct mailing, you feel like it's not working. And I promise you, in every situation, what happens is that mailer goes out, and one of your past clients or somebody in your farm gets it, and the husband or wife, they look at each other and say, yeah, you know what? When we sell next year, right? Because people aren't like wake up in the morning and be like, let's sell the house today, right? Like usually there is a window of time where the family's discussing it. Like, hey, hon, what do you think it would look like if we sold the house next year? We've really been wanting to move to here, or we've really been wanting to get a bigger home, or whatever that looks like. So it's usually like when we sell in a few months, which we're now in the time of year when we sell next year. Because a lot of people are not going to put their house, again, most people are not going to put their house on the market in the same levels in November, December. They will in January.
Right.
So it's like, hey, when we sell next year, we're going to call this Matt Hodge guy. This is the 4th or 5th postcard we've gotten from him. I remember we met with him years ago when we bought the house or whatever, or whatever that past relationship is, and we get these cards from him, and we've been seeing them, and so they literally take that card and they stick it on their refrigerator with a magnet. And they're like, we're going to call this guy next year when we list, which means in January. And they stick your face on the refrigerator with a magnet, and this is the greatest level of commitment you could ever get from a potential lead. You have no idea it happened. You are literally sitting at home saying, the direct mail doesn't work. The marketing doesn't work. I should have run more pay-per-click, or whatever it is, because you get that instant gratification. You can feel the clicks. You can see the registrations. You can see the page views. You don't know that literally this family just had a 10-minute family meeting agreeing to hire you, and then stuck your face on their refrigerator. Like, there is no more powerful thing to have happen. And I promise you, this happens every day. Like, if you think I'm making this up and this isn't how the real world works, I promise you it is. This is how families make important financial decisions, and people still stick stuff on their refrigerators. All right? This is still a thing. And so you're living now on the refrigerator. And if you want a side note to the power of the refrigerator, I think it was ketchup, but one of the condiments did not need to be refrigerated, and so it lived in the cabinet. And they realized that people visit the refrigerator like 10 times more frequently than they visit the cabinet. So they put a refrigerator after opening label on it that was not necessary, and their sales went up like some crazy percentage. You can Google it and read the whole story. But the refrigerator is powerful, and if your direct mail piece can land on the refrigerator, you have won.
That's
but you
a win.
have no idea you've won. And then when they call you in January, you have no idea where they came from, right? You're like, that direct mail I didn't work, but I'm so glad the Smiths called me to list their house, when in reality they're coming from the direct mail. So the key is stay focused. Those 9 critical questions, those active marketing plans, those 7 home buyer strategies that you are passing out, any direct mail you are sending, any door hangers you are putting out, every piece of collateral printed marketing, which is real and tangible and does not disappear into a junk inbox or a downloads folder that is in the real world with them, will have a chance at resurfacing somewhere in the future. And then you're probably not going to understand that's why they called you. Maybe they do. You go to their house to meet with them, and boom, there's your 9 critical questions you dropped off a year ago. Yeah. And you're like, wow, I haven't farmed this neighborhood with those in like a year. Like, oh yeah, we've had this for a year. We've read it 27 times. It's why we decided to hire you. It usually isn't that clear, but trust me, that's what's happening in the real world. And this is your opportunity to go plant those seeds, drop off those pieces of sticky marketing that will stay in their life, because that is how people choose who to hire as a real estate agent. And the listing agents who control the bulk of the business, that 10% that control 90% of listings, they know this stuff. They still use print. They're still doing, absolutely stopping by with gifts and printed collateral and giving people fridge magnets and everything else. Embrace the tools, they work, and now is the time of year to set yourself up for success.
That's right.
So guys, I hope that kind of adds a little fire to you as we go into these last few months of the year here, and really setting the stage for what you should be doing if you want to win in 2024, because it all starts now. And I think Robert did a really great job of kind of laying that out. And if you join some of the mastermind calls that AJ and I do in our Elevated Agents group, this is what a lot of what AJ talks about, that like your year starts now. Your year starts in October. October, because what you do in October, November, December absolutely sets the stage for what will happen in January. And as the floodgates open in January, as Robert talked about, if you were the one just kind of resting on your laurels and not doing anything, you're not going to be picking up market share. But the ones who are just putting forth that effort and going out there, staying in touch with their clients, going the extra mile these next few months, are going to reap the rewards next year. Really exciting. And then the next thing we want to talk about, this is going to be a kind of a brief thing, but for you Texas agents, we know we've got a lot of growth going on in Texas right now, and we had a big presence at the local Texas Association of Realtors event, which happened recently. So we're going to let Robert just talk a little bit about the successes we had there. So we'll kick it over to him and then come right back.
And stay tuned for state expansion news too.
Yes, very exciting.
So Texas Association of Realtors was awesome. LPT showed up big. You know, we bought a really big sponsorship. A lot of buzz around the brokerage. If you're in Texas, take advantage of that. Have the conversations. The booth was there. Larry was there. Big Steve drove the box truck with our hulking truss-based booth system out there. Right. Took the bird costume out in the back of the box truck. Really was great. Thanks to all the agents who participated and stopped by. We are definitely making a mark in Texas right now, and we're seeing massive amounts of growth. And yes, the competition is absolutely scared, as I see Kathy Trevino posting in the chat there.
You know what I really love most is it's so exciting to see LPT going into all of these new states and participating and being part of the associations and the board. And we had a really big presence recently at the Texas Association of Realtors event, and super excited to watch LPT as we grow into these states, how committed and how involved they are with the national and with the local boards. And so I hope you got some really cool information about it. It's exciting to see. I'm excited to see what we do in these other new states. And I'm really excited about the next part, right? They're going to talk about what are the next plans for state expansion. When do we know what the new states are coming out? When are they going to be coming out? And so we'll let Robert share with you what the plan is for the next 7 weeks.
All right, so state expansion. We are going to open some states.
That's right.
Here between now and the end of the year. And we are going to announce those states here on Motivation Monday. Starting next Monday, we are going to announce a state a week for 7 weeks.
So
starting next Monday, each week, for the following 7 weeks, we are going to announce the state and the date that state will be opening. And so we can finish out this year strong, and so we can get to 10,000 agents by March. That is my stated goal.
All right.
We're going to do whatever it takes to make that a reality. So be ready. Be here next Monday. We're going to announce the first state that will be opening, and then we will announce 7 states over 7 weeks as LPT Realty brings this amazing product, this amazing culture, and this amazing family to more of our amazing colleagues around the country.
That's right. And so real quick, just so you know, I want to make sure that nobody knows what these states are. This has been...
Again, the list I put out looking for brokers, that's not the list of states, because if I already had a broker, which is the earlier ones to open, I didn't need to ask for brokers.
Right.
So no one knows this list. There's a few on there that people will have guessed or know, but there's definitely going to be some curveballs on there as well.
For sure.
So 7 weeks, 7 state announcements, ending this year big. That's going to basically double. We're in 7 states today. We're going to open 7 new states and announce that one a week for the next 7 weeks starting on Monday. So be here. It's going to be really exciting.
So guys, hope that was pretty insightful. You know, one of the top questions that AJ and I get asked when we're doing one-on-one Zoom calls with agents who are in states that we're not opening yet is, when are you coming to my state? And it's a really hard question to answer because frankly, we don't know. But the really exciting thing is that we're in 7 states right now, getting ready to open 8. We just announced South Carolina, and that's one of the 7 states. And so the really cool thing is that we've got 6 more states. We're basically going to double our presence between now and I think March when we have our big event. So really, really exciting. Stay tuned every single week. So we're going to be bringing you those state announcements right here on this as Robert's announcing them live on Motivational Monday. If you're an LPT agent, tune in live to Motivational Monday with Robert so that you're getting that information a little bit sooner. But we're going to recap that. Really, really exciting to bring that to you guys.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun over the next year. And, you know, be sure to jump on the wait list too. If you're in a state that we're not in, it's really important you get on that wait list. And if you want to get a Zoom call with us, right?
Yep.
If you guys want to jump on with a call with us and talk about your goals and what your focus is and how we can help you out, we would love to do that as well. So we're going to finish off this Motivational Monday with a little bit of more information about some new products with Zillow. Robert Palmer is officially one of the largest purchaser of Zillow leads, and that's been a big part of helping a lot of the agents kind of get to the next level, especially some of those ones that are breaking through that kind of level 3 to level 4 and 5. And so we'll go ahead and let him finish it off with that.
So There is a new showcase product that Zillow is putting out where you can actually get all of the leads that come in off of your listings. Okay, so like right now, if we happen to get the lead through our Zillow buy, we give it to the listing agent. That's what we call Agent Shield. But even with what we're spending, we don't get all the leads. I mean, we're still a small piece of the massive thing that Zillow does. And so what Zillow is doing is in certain markets, they're adding a second button to the listing that says contact listing agent, and it'll be next to the schedule showing button. And so if the consumer clicks contact listing agent, that lead will go directly to you, and then you'll get some additional branding on the Zillow listing. All right, and so it's kind of cool. Like it's a way for you to get leads back. And so we are a part of the launch for the Tampa and Orlando markets, where we have some of the early credits for this showcase product. And so we're putting it out there today so people understand it's coming. It's not free. It's going to be part of a package. These credits cost anywhere between like $600 and $800 depending on the zone. I think we have 50 of them for this first month between Tampa and Orlando. So we're going to try to figure out how are we going to divvy out these 50, and how are people going to, how do we let people raise their hand and say, hey, I want to spend the money. I want my listing to be part of Zillow Showcase. Again, it's only available in Tampa and Orlando. But then the other thing we are building is we are building our own version of this called LPT Showcase, where you can get this really awesome upgraded digital marketing plan. The idea being it will give your property similar exposure, a similar number of property views, and a similar amount of traffic to what you can expect Showcase to give you on the Zillow side. And then that's something that we can make available through all of our markets. And so this is the direction we're going, and that's kind of, we just want to lay the foundation today. We don't have all the answers figured out yet, but you're going to have the choice as a part of some of these packages to say, hey, I want the Zillow Showcase product, or I want the LPT Showcase product. Both are going to do the same thing: drive more traffic to your listing, drive more property views to your listing. And so while Zillow has Zillow, we've got homevalue.com, we've got listed.com, we've got some pretty good websites that we can feature the house on as well. And so we're going to have these two options with the LPT Showcase product or the Zillow Showcase product. You'll be able to choose as a part of some of the new packages we are going to roll out for the listing marketing. Again, just ways we are, one, making sure that the best technology out there from others, like this Zillow Showcase product, is available to you, but then also providing an LPT version of it where, one, we can take it to more of our markets so everyone has an opportunity to use it, but then also our own little spin on it. And so that's how we're thinking about it. Again, this is, we're going to beta test it this month. The goal is to have this fully rolled out for next month. So while we have, I think, 50 test credits with Showcase for the month of September, starting in October, we're going to have like 200 credits a month. So we're going to have a much broader ability to provide the Zillow Showcase product. But again, there's only so many credits. Where in the LPT Showcase product, we can do as much of that as we want to. And my goal is to make it right on par. So kind of the same level of exposure that your seller can get through Zillow, we'll be able to give them a similar level of exposure and actual property views, not just ad views, property views through our Showcase product. And then agent choice. You decide, do I want any Showcase product at all on my listing? And then do I want the Zillow Showcase product or the LPT Showcase product? Because we are always here to make sure you have a choice. So a lot more information will be coming on that. If you do get a listing in one of those markets during this month, you may get a call from us saying, hey, would you like to be part of the beta test for Showcase? And so when that call comes in, you're going to know what they're talking about. Showcase will mean that you will get photography will be included in that package. So in that, again, in that cost that we have to pay Zillow for Showcase, it includes photography, which will be through LMS, which a lot of you used during the August listing blitz. And then in addition to that, your personal branding will appear on the Zillow listing, and that extra button that says contact listing agent, where the leads will go directly to you, are all a part of that Zillow Showcase package. And then we will have an LPT Showcase package, which does pretty much the same thing, just not on Zillow.com, because we don't control that. Right now, the Zillow Showcase is only available in Tampa and Orlando. And that's not our choice. That is they're on their rollout plan. They're only in a handful of markets. It is a brand new product. So if you're in Tampa or Orlando, you can potentially be a part of that beta. If you get a listing this month and we think it's one that's a good fit for the product, we will reach out to you. And then by October, we will have both the LPT Showcase product, which will be available everywhere, and the Zillow Showcase product, which will be available in the markets as they open them on a first come, first serve basis for agents to make a choice.
Awesome, guys. So that's really new information. That was the first time I'd ever heard about this Zillow showcase. And then I think the amazing thing as well is that Robert goes the extra mile on so many of these things, where not only are we getting kind of early access to this new product that Zillow has, but then we're creating our own version to be able to offer to agents in a different way that kind of accomplishes the same thing. And that's just the kind of out of the box thinking that Robert has. And again, guys, when people ask us, and we get asked this question a lot, like what's the big differences? We get the listing power tools, we get all of that stuff. Like we get that you've got, a flat fee model and the rev share. And there's a lot of reasons I think people see to join LPT. And then they ask, AJ and I, well, what's the big difference? And the number one thing that we really say a lot is Robert Palmer. If you've watched this entire thing, I want you to kind of think back to some of the more recent sales meetings that you've maybe had with your broker in charge or whoever it is that does those, and ask yourself, is the kind of information and the kind of value that you just got over this last 30, 45 minutes in any way comparable to what you're getting? And if so, awesome. You have a phenomenal broker. But from talking to so many agents, we know that just isn't the case for most people. Most people are not getting this type of insight. Most people are not with a brokerage who have this level of new, exciting things constantly rolling out with this out-of-the-box thinking and doing things that, again, have been proven to work. These are not guesses. Robert's not going into this basing his marketing plan off of what other people are saying might work. He's basing it off of what he did to already build a billion-dollar company, as well as many other companies. So we know it works, and it's just amazing to kind of have that sort of visionary leadership that can really create this revolutionary brokerage and just even start separating ourselves from the pack even more. So very exciting for us. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're interested in having a deeper conversation about LPT Realty, AJ and I would love to connect with you. Down in the description below, we're going to leave a link for a one-on-one Zoom call that you can book with us. Find a time that works for you. We would love to connect, learn a little bit more about you, your business, your goals, what you're trying to do. Let's see if LPT might be a good fit for you, and if so, if we're the right sponsors for you. We appreciate you guys watching these. We're going to be back next week. I'm actually out of the country for a week, so we might not be back next week. It might be a little bit later, but as soon as we can get the next one out, we will. Look forward to seeing you guys then. And until then, we hope to see you on Zoom.
Have an awesome day, guys.
See you guys.